Thank you, Chairman and Ranking Member Fox, and welcome, Secretary Becerra. We appreciate your time to discuss the 2022 budget for HHS. As a pharmacist, I look forward to opportunities to work with you and your department on areas where we should hopefully have bipartisan agreement, improving our healthcare delivery system and addressing problems. And I really thank Representative Keller for mentioning the PBM issues with the DIR fees. And because of that, and because of being a pharmacist, I've introduced legislation, and it's HR 1829, the PBM Accountability Study Act, that would address why some of the drug pricing is so exorbitant. And everybody on this committee has independent pharmacists who, in their district, who's struggling with this. And I'm glad the administration's budget also proposes to focus on things like substance abuse and mental health disorders. That's going to be big in my district. But I do have a couple of questions for you, sir. First one does deal with drug pricing. When the Part D program, the Medicare Part D program, was created in the Bipartisan Medicare Prescription Drug and Modernization Act of 2003, the law included an important provision known as the non-interference clause. And that inhibits the HHS secretary, number one, from interfering with in private price negotiations under the Part D program, and number two, establishing a single national formulary for the Part D program. And because of that, it's my understanding that this was put into law expressly to keep the government from interfering in the American health system in determining which medications are covered, which are not covered, as is commonly the case in many foreign countries that are single-payer systems. And honestly, the evidence has been very clear that this approach, establishing a competitive market-based system in Part D, has been successful in balancing cost containment with robust beneficiary access. But nevertheless, sir, the political talk is all about the need for negotiation in Medicare Part D. And in particular, it talks about government. The talk is government negotiation. And some have proposed eliminating the non-interference provision of the law. And my question, Secretary Becerra, is, that's very confusing. And can you clarify for me whether or not there is negotiation happening today in Medicare Part D? And if so, who's doing this negotiation?
Congresswoman, thank you for the question. And I know something that we'll have an opportunity to discuss further as well. By the way, can I just say thank you to you, and if you'll convey the thank you to your colleagues in the pharmacist world for all the work that they have done to make vaccines available locally to the community, especially those independent pharmacists who really are the ones that know their community. It's been indispensable to have them step up to the plate. And can you please convey on behalf of HHS our thanks for what they've done?
Absolutely, sir. They are an integral part of the healthcare system, and we need more authority in things like that. Start with us first.
At a time when we're losing that personal contact with all those service providers, it is sure nice to have some of those pharmacists who we've known for decades, right, to be, and we trust. And so it's been great. So please convey our thanks to them.
I will do that.
On the question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Ahead. No, I want you to answer the question.
Yes. We're working, and as you know, this has been an issue that not just this administration, but previous administrations have tried to tackle. And in fact, we're now in court on a number of these matters. But what I will tell you is this: President Biden has made a commitment to reduce the prices of prescription drugs. We're looking for the best way to do that. We know that there are a number of proposals that are out there, different ways that other countries have found to do it. What I could commit to you is this: we will do everything we can within our current power, but we're hoping you all, working with you, we can get more power to actually bring down the prices of prescription drugs.
Well, that's the goal, and that's where my expertise lies. I want to change topics and ask you one other thing. I understand from your previous recent hearing appearances in the House Energy and Commerce Committee and the Senate Finance Committee, you have been asked on a number of different occasions to affirm that your stated commitment to uphold all laws, including the enforcement of the Partial Birth Abortion Act. And your response to Representative Gus Bilirakis was, and I quote, "There is no law that deals specifically with the term partial birth abortion." Do you still maintain this position that there's no federal law that deals specifically with that term? And that's just a simple yes or no, sir.
Congresswoman, I wish life were just a simple yes or no. What I can say to you is, or what I try to say to the congressman and to others who've asked this question, we're going to make sure we uphold the law. We follow the law as we protect women's rights to healthcare as they see.
It's a simple, if you can read this, and it is, and if you can't read it, I'll read it for you. It's 18 U.S. Code 1531, partial birth abortions prohibited. And, there's a couple of things I want to enter into the record. It was a PolitiFact article, Chairman, and it's Becerra is wrong that no law addresses partial birth abortion. So if I could enter that, that would be fantastic.
The gentlelady's time has expired. You've asked unanimous consent without objection. The document will be entered.
Thank you.
Gentlelady's time